guys, welcome to another fantastic episode of the Chris and Kadie show right here on the YouTube and the Twitch. We're also not the Twitch. We're on the YouTube and the Spotify, and we're also live on Twitch this week. This is our first attempt at going live on Twitch, and if you are listening in the future on YouTube or Spotify, the Twitch is twitch.tv/The Boston Chris Show. And lots of stuff happening. The first thing I wanted to say is I wanted to thank the fine folks over there at HyperX Gaming for sponsoring yet another awesome episode of this podcast. And of course, if you guys would like to become a sponsor, you can do so for as little as $10. Right.
$10.
$10. And just send me an email at thechrisandkadieshow@gmail.com if you would be interested in that. But I do have kind of a big announcement where Kadie and I have decided to have guest commentators here on the show. Now, this is going to be different. We're not going to be interviewing anybody, Kadie. They're just going to be just like you and me, commentating on the topics that we come up with. All right?
Okay.
And the first person that we are inviting on the show is very familiar to Kadie Lynn because she appeared on his show. And I will be appearing on his show very soon. Of course, we are talking about Dave Jarvis from the Blow Your Brains Out podcast. That's right. That's right.
You're going to go on the show?
What'd you say? I'm sorry. Everybody was clapping.
I said, you said you're going on the show?
I'm going on his show. Yes, I will be live on his show on July 3rd. Right.
Heck yeah.
So that's like
I'll check it out.
Like two
That's
Wednesdays from now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Josh JP, hello, welcome to the channel tonight. Cool me, welcome in. And unfortunately, a lot of people died this week, and I say unfortunately because it sucks for them.
It sucks, yeah.
It does suck for them. And there is one in particular that I'm going to feature a little bit more than the others, just because he is pretty influential, or was pretty influential in the music field. And I don't know if Kadie is familiar with him or not, but if she isn't, then we will make her so. However, if you are watching on Twitch and I don't respond to your chat right away, please be patient. I will definitely get to it. But I am also following a format here, as Kadie is as well, so we have to go forward with that. But anyway, Kadie, your hair is different this week. Tell us about it.
It is. Well, my mother has been begging me since I've been getting this haircut for over a year now, which is pretty funny. You know, I've been shaving the sides and stuff, so I was like, I'll let it grow for a minute. I stuck some color on it. Same thing with the back, because I usually keep the back shaved too. Here. Nice. I've had a long day, so my hair is just pulled back and all that. But
nice, I like it. And I was saying before we realized that everybody was muted, that black and red is actually my stream colors, has been for years. And the reason for that is because my high school colors were black and red, so I just kind of always liked the combo.
Lame. No, I'm kidding.
That's not lame. Look, okay, fine. Let's move on. Kadie's just like, you know what? I've had enough.
I'm in a shit mood today. No.
So just so we're clear, Kadie and I have little signals that we're going to be giving to each other tonight. And anybody who figures out the signals that we give each other in the live chat, only in the live chat, if you can figure out what the signal is that we are giving to each other, I will give you some free Streamloots interactive cards to play on future streams, okay? But having said that, and I'm hoping that I can remember her signal to me, because if I don't, then she's going to murder me the next time we see each other.
And I'm going to end up having to give it away. I'm going to be like, like, come on, boy.
All right, so I always have to explain how we do the celebrity deaths. We always do the week prior to the day we record. We are currently recording on June 17th. So we are doing the celebrity deaths from the week of June 11th to June 17th. And I didn't see anybody too notable from today. So it's really going to be from June 11th to June 16th. If you died today on June 17th and I just called you not too notable, please don't haunt my dreams.
And it's 9 p.m. So if it's after 9 p.m., it doesn't count.
That's right. You
It
just
doesn't
have to
count.
die. You have to die earlier if you want to make our publication. That's just the way it is. All right. Get on that
Yep.
shit. I'm just saying, get on that shit. Anyway, June 11th, Howard Feynman or Finneman. I'm not sure how he pronounced it, and I can't exactly ask him now. He passed away on June 11th at the age of 75. He was an American journalist and TV commentator. He died of pancreatic cancer.
I hate that. I don't know who that is, by the way.
Yeah, it sucks that I didn't have a chance to ask him how to pronounce his name so we could be more accurate.
Just say Finneman because it sounds more exotic. Sounds more
Yeah.
like Swedish.
Well, you know what? Let's just say Finneman and we'll add the third at the end. And I mean, that increases the notoriety, right? So Howard Finneman III has passed away.
The third.
That's right. June 11th. So what happens with this is Wikipedia tries to update their celebrity deaths as it comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I originally went through June 11th and the people who passed away that day, this person was not listed yet. So I'm assuming that the way it works is sometimes it takes a while for them to get there. I'm glad I went back because this is an interesting one. The American rapper Enchanting passed away at the age of 26 on June 11th with complications from an overdose.
I hate that so much. That's barely older than I. So
Yeah.
I can.
I mean, there is absolutely very few things on the planet worse than a complicated overdose. I just want a simple one. You know what I mean? Like, just straightforward. Like, they start making this shit complicated and
Come
then
on. In and out. That's what we're talking about here. None of the other BS.
that also occurred on June 11th. Also on June 11th, the oldest person to make our celebrity death list passed away. Her name was Ruth Stiles Gannett. She was an American author who wrote, her biggest title was My Father's Dragon. She passed away at the age of 100.
Yeah. Man, I'm okay. That's a long ass time. I don't know if I want to be around that long. But I mean, that's quite the accomplishment.
So, guys, if you're watching on Twitch, you can absolutely put questions in the chat. We will answer live questions if you have them. Just understand that it might be a few minutes before I can check them out. Josh Pepper says, nice. I've been growing out my undercut for almost a year now as well.
Heck yeah.
And Fubar has all kinds of hype for the live broadcast. And Kumi says, can we do a live question for Kadie? The answer is yes. We will absolutely ask Kadie a question
Hit
if you
it.
have one.
Hit it.
Absolutely. No, we're still on June 11th. Guys, June 11th was a horrible day for notable people. It was awful. I was so happy when that day was over.
Holy crap.
These people were not happy that day was over, but I was. But also on June 11th, Mark James, and this is a notable one for me as a songwriting nerd. And this did not make Wikipedia, by the way. Shame on you, Wikipedia.
Shame.
But Mark James, at the age of 83, died, we think on June 8th, because that's the day the death was announced, but it could have been anywhere before that as well. But he wrote such songs like Suspicious Minds for Elvis and Always on My Mind for Willie Nelson. He wrote a bunch of tunes for like Bonnie Raitt and a bunch of other folks. But anyway, he passed away on June 11th. Also on June 11th, a very popular and notable French singer named Francoise Hardy passed away at the age of 80. She also passed away from cancer. Did you know that's pronounced Francois?
I was waiting for you to say it.
Yeah, because Kadie was going to be like Francoise.
I was gonna say Francois.
No, that's actually a sauce in Uganda, but we'll move on. June 11th, also. We're still on June 11th. Guys, there's nothing better than Ugandan Francoise sauce. Whatever she said. Gaps Hendrickson, and I'm praying to God that was a nickname, because if you have the first name of Gaps,
I'm sorry.
Gaps, He died at the age of 73, sadly also of cancer. And he was a British musician and the vocalist for a band called The Selector. Yeah. Anyway, we're still on June 11th. June 11th, American musician from the band Phoenix TV also died of cancer, Mr. Adam Lewis, at the young age of 45. I do not like seeing names on this list that passed away at younger than me. I don't like that.
Awful. And all of it's effing cancer.
Can we talk about the fact that we've never had a simple overdose on this list? It's always a complicated one. I mean...
Man.
All right, June 11th. Last one. We're finally there. Y'all can take a breath. June 11th is almost over. Oh, Tony Lobianco. Golly. I should have been bilingual in a different life. Did you hear that pronunciation?
That's pretty smooth, my dude.
All right, we're going to say it piece by piece here. Tony Lobianco.
Bianco.
That means Tony the White, by the way, if you're in Italy. I don't know why they named themselves this. Anyway, he was 87. He was an American actor, best known for The French Connection, which was a movie, I suppose. And he also died of cancer. So I don't know why June 11th is not National Cancer Day. Now, we talked about that shit last week, and I didn't hear National Cancer Day for June 11th. So cancer needs to calm the hell down.
For real. Absolutely.
Let me see here.
We're done with June 11th.
I just wanted to know what size Katie's gauges are. She can answer whenever.
Oh, I'm at a 1/2 inch. So, 12 millimeters, my dude. 1-2.
So Cool Me has 16 millimeter gauges.
Okay, so with that, so 9/16 is 14 millimeters. I don't remember what.
Okay, look,
necessary.
Math is not on the format for this week, so could we stop that shit right now, please?
I know damn well he's doing the same shit.
Fubar MP has stated that it's a complicated overdose because no one knows why they overdosed.
Oh.
And he's a sheriff's deputy, so he would know. He's an expert. I have brought in an expert.
My guess was like maybe it's like a concoction of things.
I don't know.
That was my guess, but that makes sense.
My guess is if the man knew that it was going to be so complicated, he probably wouldn't have done it. Just saying.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think that's actually how drugs work, but who knows? Anyway, we finally get to June 12th, and unfortunately, the biggest name on this list passed away on June 12th. And that is the man known as Jerry West, who was a Hall of Fame basketball player, coach, and executive. And he was 86 years old. And Kadie, I'm going to tell you, the thing that Jerry West, other than being famous for being a basketball player, he's actually the muse for the NBA logo. So,
I thought you were about to pop out with some BS. Okay, you're being serious.
No, this is serious. The NBA logo, which shows a man dribbling a basketball on it, that was actually taken from a picture of Jerry West.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we haven't even got to the Did You Know section of the show yet, guys, and you're already learning shit, okay? You should donate. You should donate in the description down below. June 12th also was the worst day for Mr. Mike Downey, who was 72 years old. He was, I almost said he died of American newspaper columnist. Kadie, this is not going well. He did not die of American newspaper columnist. That's what he did.
Yep.
He died of a heart attack because he was like, F you, cancer. Right?
He had a heart attack because he was freaking tired of journalism.
I don't blame him there. To be fair, if he was like I was going to say Rhodesian columnist, but that's not a country anymore. Okay, so Rhodesia is no longer a country. I don't know why that came in. But if he was a columnist from there, he probably wouldn't have had a heart attack. They ain't shit to report on there except a name change.
I'm not tired of you already.
All right, guys, we're back to another harder pronunciation name. We're going to go all bilingual on your ass again. June 13th, Johnny Canales passed away at the age of 77. He was a Mexican Tejano singer and TV host.
Okay, if it's Mexican Tejano, I would think it's Canales.
Canales.
Johnny Canales.
Okay, well, you're the native Texan, so we're going to go with that. I think that's probably right. So I'll stick to French, you stick to Spanish, and we'll be good to go for future episodes.
Yeah.
God help us if somebody from Asia dies next week. Anyway, so June 13th, I don't want anybody to get excited, okay? Nahem passed away, not Naheem. They're different things. Nahem without the E, Naheem with the E. Naheem is fine. Nahem, not so much. Nahem, who was a Brazilian singer, and that means nationality. It doesn't mean a lot of singers, right? Because when I first saw this, I was like, damn, how much is a Brazilian? Golly, a Brazilian's probably a lot. God, a whole, like, I pictured like this 45-foot long bus just going over a cliff with a bunch of singers on it. I got scared. I started texting all my singer friends, Kadie, are you okay? Stay away from the light. But anyway, Nahem was 71. Brazilian is actually a nationality. It's not how many singers that died. And he or she passed away from a fall. Now, my second thought, after how many singers it was, golly, I bet you they wish they would have passed in the fall. They would have gotten 4 more months alive. Right?
Stop it. What the?
So, Kadie, this is called... All right, so I have a theory. Do you want to hear my theory?
Always.
All right. So I have a theory that when you are a connoisseur of dad jokes, such as I am, there comes a point in time, and there has to be a point in time, where your cup is empty, right? Your cup full of dad jokes just expires and it is no more. And then there's a certain day of the year where your cup gets refilled. And I believe, personally, that day is Father's Day.
So yesterday.
Yesterday, my cup is full, y'all. It is full. Anyway, on to the next. June 14th. And this is the one that I really want to get serious about. I'm going to try to be serious here. Jeremy Tepper, at the age of 60. Jeremy was an American radio executive, best known for his Sirius XM show, Outlaw Country. Passed away of a heart attack. This was, I guess, Friday, I think, that he passed away. And I've been seeing this all over my timeline because many of my friends were friends with him or influenced by him. So all week I've been hearing stories about Jeremy and what an incredible guy he was. So I am going to say a little bit more about him as well. Jeremy Tepper was an American musician, journalist, and record industry executive. He was the former frontman of the world-famous Blue Jays, which he founded. He also founded the record label Diesel Only Records in 1990, along with Jay Sherman Godfrey and Albert Kayati. Along with Albert, Tepper subsequently became the head honcho of Diesel by himself. He was also the managing editor of the magazine Vending Times prior to 92, and later became the publisher and editor-in-chief of the jukebox industry trade journal called Street Beat. And anybody who's in the music business has heard of Street Beat. I saw Kadie nodding. So, prior to becoming
I know.
Huh?
I said, if I know, most people know.
You're right. Prior to becoming format manager for Sirius Satellite Radio's Outlaw Country channel in 2004, he had also worked for Seductive and eMusic.com and had served as the editor of the Journal of Country Music and as a country music critic for Pulse. This is a guy that pulled himself up, literally doing stuff like Kadie and I are doing right now with this show. and made an absolutely impeccable career about it. And he's just very inspirational.
Sounds like
Uh,
a big badass right there.
yeah, he was a big badass. I wish I could have met him. More so, I wish I could have interviewed him. Golly, that would have been
Oh yeah.
an interesting talk. Um, the next two are interesting to me for different reasons. We're going to move to June 15th. Mike Brumley, who was a Major League Baseball player who also played for my favorite team, the Boston Red Sox, at one point, passed away from a car crash at the age of 61. Um, and I remember Mike Brumley playing for the Red Sox and other teams. And the thing that I remember about Mike Brumley is he was most well known for playing just about every position on the field, which is always interesting. Moving on to
Yeah.
June 16th, was tomorrow. Oh my gosh, hello English. I'm trying to learn Spanish and French here and falling apart with my native language. Which is untrue because America does not have a native language. I bet you didn't know that.
I mean, sounds pretty accurate.
Anyway, June 16th, Scott Henson, who was a Canadian professional wrestler, passed away at the age of 40. And I hate to say that I literally spent almost an hour yesterday just trying to find the
I can figure
information
it
of
out.
how he died. Because I wanted to see if he died in the ring or not. And there is no information about how he died out there as of yet. But typically, when a wrestler dies, it's because of drugs. So I hope it's not because of drugs.
Yeah.
But at the age of 40, sounds like that could happen.
Yeah.
Let's check Twitch again. I'm really glad both of you are here. I heard about that shooting incident at the Juneteenth event in Round Rock, Texas. So that is probably something we may talk about next week, Bar. I appreciate you bringing that up. But that did not make the cut this week. It kind of came in a little too late. To be fair, Juneteenth hasn't happened yet. That's the 19th.
That is
So
fair.
perhaps they shouldn't be having the event yet. I don't know. Last one of the week, June 16th. A comedian and actor best known for Seinfeld. And if you guys look up his name, you've seen this person, even if you haven't watched Seinfeld. He was 71 years old. His name was Hiram Caston. And he did have a bit part on Seinfeld and other shows that I can't seem to remember. Katie, did you know? You haven't given me the signal yet, have you?
No,
Okay, I haven't missed the signal. That's great. So,
I can.
no, we're giving away stuff. Anyway, bananas are radioactive. And yet we eat them,
Huh?
some bitches. Bananas, the things they sell in the produce department at Walmart, are radioactive.
Man, hold on. I gotta did you know on some bananas, okay?
All right, I'm listening.
Okay, I might have to fact check myself, but gnats are like in bananas.
What?
Like like the bug, gnats. Yeah. Bananas and gnats. I'm on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our investigative journalist, Miss Katie Lynn.
Hold on. Hold on, I have this backwards. Uh the bananas have gnats. Here we go.
What?
The adults lay their eggs invisible to the naked eye on bananas and other fruits.
No, they don't. What do you mean? Don't tell me that. I was already
Yeah, I know.
I was already crestfallen over the radioactive. Oh my
See,
gosh.
I don't give a shit. I've known that for a while.
Now I'm like
It's
picturing the next supervillain for Spider-Man, Super Nat, who
not
ate
a
a
banana.
who ate a radioactive banana, right? Golly, Katie. Anyway, bananas are indeed radioactive because they have a radioactive form of potassium. But it would take eating 10 million bananas at once to get a fatal dose. I'm guessing not if you're a gnat.
Okay, maybe stuff them in some like banana pudding and we'll talk on the 10 million thing. But just a regular banana, I'm down to try for the banana
So,
pudding though.
guys, come on in here. I have really bad news for Katie. She might not want to hear this, but there are real bananas in banana pudding.
Yeah, I know. It's just a
Okay.
lot less boring, and it's sugar.
Yeah, did you also know that ketchup was once used as a medicine?
That's some bullshit.
So yeah, in the 1830s, people believed that ketchup could cure many ailments, including diarrhea, indigestion, and jaundice.
Jaundice. Man, these freaking people just coming up with random shit, pulling it out of their ass 24/7. I swear to God.
Literally out of their
I
ass.
swear to God.
Literally. See, that was a digestion joke that Katie just tried to slip past us. She heard
I
diarrhea and
really,
immediately said they're trying to pull this shit out of their ass.
I didn't even think about it. I'm naturally blonde, guys. You just now made me realize I made a pretty good bad joke. So I will take credit for it.
Last one, did you know that humans can produce venom? Actual venom, not like hatred and speech and all that stuff.
I was about to say, I got a good attitude.
Me too. I mean, especially if you grab on real tight. But anyway, humans, like other mammals and reptiles, like humans are a reptile. What? That's the first thing I read. Like I was like, other reptiles. We have the ability to produce venom, including a key protein that's used in many venom systems. So now I'm curious why we don't.
I'm a snake. A slithery snake.
Oh my god. I could
I
not
think
find any more information on venomated humans either, so I'm not sure how legit that is. Maybe somebody out there can fact check me. I don't know. Um anyway, let's check Twitch again. I just found this out. I know it's crazy. But anyway, let's move on. We have our national days of celebration, which we do a little bit differently than the celebrity deaths, in that the celebrity deaths we talk about prior to our recording. The national days of celebration we talk about the week after the recording comes out. So in this case, our recording is coming out on the 28th, I believe, this episode. So we will be talking about June 28th to July 4th and the national day, the things that we celebrate in the United States of America between these dates. And this week we have 20 of them. I am going to try to limit this to it like 20 or less, because sometimes there's like 60 and I'm just like, no, we're not talking about
in one
those.
day.
Right, exactly. So these are the ones that either interested me or made me hungry. One of the two. Never, ever, ever, ever make this list when you are hungry, by the way. Ever. Don't do it. But I am starving now, so this is not going to go well. June 28th is National Alaska Day. And that typically means that is they're celebrating the day that they became a state, when they were ratified as a state. So happy birthday, Alaska.
Happy birthday. I want to go.
Did you know how Alaska became part of our territory?
I do not.
So this is I don't have this prepared. I can totally show you my notes. There are none. Katie will attest. There are no notes on this shit. This is all from memory.
All from cranium.
So Abraham Lincoln's Secretary of State was a guy named James Seward. In other news, he was actually attacked on the same night that Lincoln was assassinated. True story. But anyway, later on, after he was attacked and Lincoln was killed, he managed to buy, through whoever the president was at the time. That's not part of my knowledge base here, but he managed to buy Alaska from Russia for $7.5 million at the time. And that was obviously a lot of freaking money back then. But really, honestly, wasn't, if you think about what has happened or transpired since then. Because it's filled with oil. Like, we get a lot of our oil reserves from Alaska. But at the time, there was nothing there. And so they called it Seward's Folly. Originally, it was called Seward's Folly. And now, I mean, it was a great buy. It's like going to, getting banana pudding on sale or some shit like that. June 28th is also National Paul Bunyan Day, and I only added this one because I wanted to see if Katie knew who Paul Bunyan was.
I knew you were about to ask that. I do. It's like a lost memory in my brain from my childhood. So go ahead, but I know I'm gonna be like, oh yeah.
So I've actually forgotten a lot about this too, but from what I understand, Paul Bunyan was a giant lumberjack, like a fictional giant lumberjack, and he had a blue ox named Babe. I think, pretty sure. I'm not going to Google that.
Here's what's about to happen to you. I'm Googling it.
Do you want me to keep you updated on the Celtics game as we go? So I have a tab open for the Celtics game, and I'm trying really hard not to let it distract me. But they're up 17 right now, so hopefully that maintains as we talk about things.
But yeah, it's a giant lumberjack. Babe the Blue Ox.
Hey! Score one for the Bostonite. Let's go. Hell yeah. Love to see it. I love when I'm right about stuff. Makes me happy.
It's pretty usual.
Oh, thank you. So June 29th is important because we're going to eat a bunch of shit and then take a picture of ourselves doing it, okay? So here we go. Actually, I might have been factually incorrect there. We'll find out. So the first thing we are going to eat on June 29th is almond butter crunch. Because it is Almond Butter Crunch Day. And I had to look this up because I had never heard of this.
That's what I was about to say, but man, it sounds right up my alley, though.
Okay, so it is yummy. It looks yummy, rather. Probably not as yummy as waffle irons, though, because it is also National Waffle Iron Day.
Man, put them together.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you try to take my almond butter crunch, I'm going to hit your ass with a damn waffle iron. And then you are not going to want to take a picture of yourself because it is also National Camera Day on that day, which is June 29th. Almond butter crunch day, waffle iron day, camera day.
I wonder what would happen if you tried to waffle a almond butter crunch. I'll do that and then take a picture of it.
Field trip! Hey, I didn't know we were doing field trips on this show. But by God, we could do it. Oh, I wonder. I personally wonder what would happen if you tried to take a picture with a waffle iron, but that's just me. Let's see here. On June 30th. Oh my God, it's National Media Day. Oh,
that's every day.
I deleted all of our celebrity deaths, so I don't remember who the columnist was, but he's probably really pissed that he missed National Media Day. I shouldn't have deleted that, bro. I could have been funny. Anyway, June 30th is also National Meteor Watch Day.
Okay, so does that mean there's going to be some?
No,
or is it just some BS?
I want to try to be more precise here. Because when I say meteor, I mean like the comets and shit that are coming out of the sky, and not like more steak, right? Because like,
I swear.
Because like if you take a sandwich and you put one piece of ham on it, and then you put a second piece of ham on it, that's right. The sandwich is now more meteor than it was before.
Like when you take a Chevy truck and then look at a GMC. Dang, that GMC's meteor.
Wow, she went there, bro. Woo.
Sorry.
She went there.
Everyone, if you can't agree with me on that, you're dumb as hell.
I mean...
I'm sorry, look at that grill on the GMC.
She told me last week that she's going to try never to call people dumb as hell on this show. And she just did. Boston, don't let me call people dumb as hell. Oh, golly, man. I love this show. Mondays are a highlight for me, bro. Still no signal. I think she's forgotten to give me the signal, or I just haven't seen it. You did it! Oh my gosh! Okay, all right, sorry. Here we go. I will talk about things. Okay, so June No, we're on July now. We're on July. Okay, so I gotta go like that. I don't know what I did. July 1st, we are celebrating a couple of things on that day. We are, and I'm gonna get to the one that scares me the most last. But the first thing is National Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day.
Man, I wanna get down with that.
So yeah, that's a lot of syllables. National Creative Ice Cream Flavors Day. The other two for that day have relevancy to me or Katie. Sort of. And I'm gonna
I get it.
I'm gonna tie this shit together. Here we go. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? All right. It is National Postal Worker Day. And if you didn't know, Katie's mom is indeed a postal worker.
And sister.
And her sister. So you guys are going to be getting down that day.
Getting crunk, yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of worries me because that's unfair. You get to celebrate on that day, and I will be running for my life because it is National Ginger Snap Day. And I am married to a redhead, and it is my ultimate objective to never do anything that makes her snap. Ever. Ever. There is nothing worse than when she is mad. I hate ginger snaps.
I've never. Wait. Okay. Look. Well, we can think of the other ginger snap and maybe try to make ice cream out of it, and then try to give it to my mom.
That would be a creative ice cream flavor. Katie, I see what you did there. That's incredible. Oh. All right.
Shut the hell up.
Oh, that was good. You made a connection. Creative ice cream flavor, ginger snap ice cream.
That sounds like ass.
It kind of does. We would have to add some coffee to it or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Have to be some coffee. I swear to God, if the Wheel of Games does not pick Katie this week, I'm going to have real issues with the maker of this show. I'm just saying. But let's stay on track. We're getting to the game here, and it's starting to worry me. But anyway, July 2nd is National Anisette Day.
Huh?
That sound you hear is everybody going to Google the word anisette.
Yeah, I am included. I don't even know how to damn spell this shit. Oh.
So it is a liqueur that is flavored with aniseed.
What is that?
Oh my God, aniseed. Okay, let's see. Aniseed definition. Oh, I know. I could use that in a. I could use that in a sentence, Katie. I could use it in a sentence.
Come on.
Okay.
Just come on with it.
So when we started this podcast, I could see you, and I seed my chat on Twitch.
I give up. I give up. Okay. So hold on. I want to know what it tastes like.
It
'Cause,
tastes.
like,
It tastes like aniseed, which is better than antifreeze, I imagine.
I don't know. They say antifreeze is pretty sweet.
Well, let's look at it. What does aniseed taste like?
Oh, I thought you were googling antifreeze.
No. All right. So it says, what does it taste like? It has a licorice flavor that is sweet, mildly spicy, and very aromatic.
I immediately think of Jaeger when you say licorice.
Yeah.
But it popped up with absinthe too, so I was like, "Oh my god, what does that taste like?"
I forget about absinthe, but yeah, exactly.
Isn't
So
it illegal?
we're almost there. We got 9 more. July 3rd has a few things. The first one is we celebrate it all over the world because it is that important, y'all. That important. It's International Plastic Bag Free Day, which I can get behind because whenever I used to wear a plastic bag on my face, people could still see and make out my features. But
And you can breathe.
that's right. Well, breathing was tough too, but that's not the. Stay on track here, okay? So, but when I would use a paper bag, it was not transparent, and I was able to get away with a lot more.
And less like, suffocating.
Yeah, the hashtag less suffocating.
It's probably middle name.
That would put 3 S's right in a row, dude.
Less suffocating. Less suffocating. Yep.
I think Katie's drinking anisette over here, y'all. All right, July 3rd is also National Fried Clam Day. It's National Chocolate Wafer Day. It's National Eat Your Beans Day. And then it's National Compliment Your Mirror Day.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
I like it too, because I have several mirrors that are different sizes and shapes and colors and things like that. And some of them are a little more self-conscious than the others, so you do have to encourage them to be reflective, you know.
I hate you.
It's like, oh,
some
thank.
Are old, and
that's right.
Have some
that's right.
Scratches,
and you just have to say thank you, Mirror. You've done a wonderful job today, and I can't wait to see you again tomorrow.
It's like I see you all the time.
Exactly. I mean, you have to be very, very, very nice to your mirror if you want the mirror to be nice in return.
I wish it worked like that.
How do you know it doesn't? Have you ever complimented your mirror, Katie Lynn?
I will start tomorrow. We'll check in next week and see
what happens. No, you will start on July 3rd because that's when it matters.
Okay.
July 4th, nothing is happening that day. We'll move on to the topics of... No, I'm just kidding. July 4th, as you know, is Independence Day. So we will be celebrating America. America. Which in Texas is a national holiday because, well, it bears excitement, not because we're excited to celebrate our country's birthday, but because, as you know, all the fireworks stands reopen.
Yeah, I mean that's why I get excited.
Me too. I was like, yes.
Let's blow some shit up. No, but I mean. Yeah, unfortunately, that is why everyone probably still celebrates it, to be honest.
In fact, they should be opening this probably today they open, to be fair. Or maybe, I don't know, soon.
I don't know either.
July 4th is also Alice in Wonderland Day.
I love Alice in Wonderland.
I do too.
Big fan.
I just don't understand how we would celebrate that without either cosplay or watching a movie.
I mean, all the above.
I mean, we could dress like Alice in Wonderland and then hit each other with waffle irons.
You'll be Alice and you do your braids, and I'll do Mad Hatter. Got it.
Mad Hatter. I'm not gonna do a Did You Know there. I'm not. But no. But somebody comment down below, wherever you're watching or listening, where the term Mad Hatter came from. I want to see if anybody knows and if anybody's listening. But anyway, yeah.
I don't.
Two more. So this just sounds like a fabulous meal to eat while you're celebrating America with Alice in Wonderland. It's National Barbecue Spare Ribs Day. And of course, when you have barbecue spare ribs, you have to have a nice side to go with that. So it is also National Caesar Salad Day.
Man, I love me a good Caesar salad.
My problem with Caesar salad is I always thought somebody was trying to steal my salad.
Trying to seize it.
That's right. I was like, Caesar salad, you better leave my shit alone, mister. I cut those tomatoes myself, bro. Like, I didn't realize that it was Caesar salad. Because people don't put that space. That space is very important between those two words.
Yeah. Yeah. You right on that.
So we have reached our first topic of the week. Whew.
I'm really excited. I think it's funny. So I know we talked about this last week, but I forgot about it. And Mr. Chris over here added it to our little doc.
Mhm.
I am obsessed with the effing ocean. I'm like a weirdo. People get like obsessed with space, and I love space too. But like, man, the ocean is so freaking nuts, nuts. We have like no idea. You know, all us humans, we've grown and we've evolved, and we're so smart. Blah 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 blah. We don't know shit about shit. So only about 5% of the ocean has been explored,
Five
and the
percent.
ocean, I'm pretty sure. Let me Google that. It might
No,
be
that's
less than
not. No,
that.
it sounds right to me. I think you're right on the money.
It might be 3%, but I'm gonna say five for good measure. But the ocean covers up 71% of the Earth's surface,
Right.
and we only got about 5% of it looked at.
So
I want to know.
what you're saying is that's where Bigfoot is.
I mean, shit, he could breathe underwater. We don't know.
Why not?
He's got a cave somewhere.
Oof. And
But
and
anyway,
go ahead.
I think it's so funny, like, especially in like America, where everyone's like obsessed with like going to space, and now we're building elevators to Mars. Um, but we don't give a rat's ass about the ocean.
Nope.
Why is no one like going in the water? Like, think about like the ocean. I don't. Let me see. It holds more life than any landmass. Like, it holds.
Have you ever been to India? I don't know, man. They hold a lot of life over there. So no, seriously, like you should watch The Amazing Race when they get to India and they have to share like a train with all those Indian people.
Uh-huh.
Like that's some scary shit. You want to talk about a lot of life in one little area? Holy crap! Whew. Go ahead. That wasn't a joke. It's
But
serious. There's a lot of life in India.
I'm about to beat you. Anyway, but there's a lot of shit we have not discovered. We haven't. There could be so many things we can't even think about. So they say I'm obsessed with like squids and octopuses. I'm just obsessed. I mean, I have a squid tattooed on me. So, uh, but I super obsessed. I think they're so cool. Don't know if you guys know this. They are the closest species on this planet to aliens. Don't know if you know that.
What kind of aliens?
Well, I don't know about. Listen here, I know you're about to ask some stupid shit like that. But basically, they're the most like alienated from any. Like, they're their own complete. They're like the alien to our species,
Yeah.
or like any other
It's
species on
funny
this
you said
planet.
that because I saw a video on TikTok the other day that literally shows an octopus just randomly punching a fish. I don't know if you've seen that
Oh,
video.
that shit's hilarious,
Yeah, I love
and
it.
that's why I love them. Love them,
Yeah.
and they're so. There's nothing like them. I mean, nothing.
That's not
Okay, we're
true
talking about
because
the ocean.
I also know a lot of single guys that are very handsy as well.
Unfortunately, same.
So
I
we got a
feel that.
couple of quick comments on Twitch.
Okay, okay, okay.
Fubar will be making his fireworks trip to Texas soon, all the way from Iowa. Um,
Hey,
Coolme wants to know if you're using the Chromebook for this episode. He is the one that sent that to you.
I am. I am. I gotta get the whole mic camera situated. I've been running around a lot, but I have it over here in my notes and all this stuff, so it's so super helpful already. But I got a lot of other shit to figure out. Hey, and your shirt is gonna be on its way.
Nice, nice. So we decided to do the Mysteries of the Ocean because of last week's show, which actually hasn't released yet. So this is a little bit awkward. We're live streaming episode 8 before episode 7 has even released. So
Hmm.
everybody who's watching, except for our YouTube members, has not seen episode 7 yet, where we talked about doing Mysteries of the Ocean next week. So
Uh huh.
it's a little weird. We're actually doing Mysteries of the Ocean in the past of next week's
And
episode.
was it last episode that we talked about the elevator to Mars, or the one
It
before that?
was, yes, it was space
Yeah, so
elevators.
they didn't pick up on that either.
So are all of these like bleeding together for you as well?
Yeah, man. And I mean, weeks, a whole month kind of just
Yeah, I know.
melts together. So
So when we started talking about mysteries of the ocean, I put together I found a website called
Yes.
Vox.com, which this is super cool.
Vox is my amp, by the way.
Yes,
I have a
Vox is
Vox
an
amp.
amazing amp company, by the way. Yes. I'm just going to briefly talk about these. These are some what scientists call the 10 most mysterious things scientists have not solved yet about the ocean. And I have not read these yet. I just opened the webpage and I was like, this is dope. I'll react to these live and in Technicolor. But here we go. The first one is, where did Earth's water come from? And I don't know why this webpage is asking me. It would seem to me that the scientists would have better answers for this shit than
You would
me. But
think.
yeah, you
But
would
like
think.
I said, us humans don't know shit. We think
But
we do, but we don't.
apparently, there are questions about why Earth has water to begin with. Scientists don't fully understand how water came to cover 2/3 of the surface of our world, as Kadie alluded to earlier. The problem is simple. When the Earth was forming, it was extremely hot, which is surprising to me because I wasn't here yet. Any water that was
Right?
around at the beginning would have boiled away. Because you know what my wife says, Kadie? The difference between a shower and a hot shower is just one's got me in it and the other one doesn't. Um, so Lydia Hallis, who is a planetary scientist at the University of Glasgow, says, so how do you get so much liquid condensing onto the surface of a planet that should be really, really hot? And they don't know. They don't know why that happened or why it is still happening. So that is the first mystery. How did water get here? Number 2 is, where is the plastic pollution in the ocean hiding, and how does it get there?
Well, we wouldn't know since we only know about 5% of it.
That's right. Maybe you should start looking for more of that shit.
Yeah, maybe we should really start caring about the planet.
That's right. Get over your fear of the Bigfoot and get your asses down there and start looking for the plastic.
Yeah.
Golly. But this guy, Eric Van Sibbel, says on Unexplainable, which apparently is it's some kind of publication, he said 99% of all the plastic in the ocean is missing.
Bigfoot's eating it.
So I got multitudes of questions here that have no answers and probably never will before I die and make the celebrity death list. Number 1, if you don't know how much plastic is in the ocean, then how the hell do you know that 99% of it is missing?
You know, hey, they have you should Google it. You probably know about it. Garbage Island. Have you heard
Yes,
about it?
I have.
Yeah. That's and considering that's that full of plastic and all that, and
Yeah.
we don't know where.
And the next mystery is, how is life surviving, even thriving, amid ocean plastic? It's very simple. It's because they don't know how much plastic there is.
Honestly, I mean, like life is always evolving. You know, people, species, everything. The fact, everything on land. Think about all the shit like buildings popping up, all kinds of stuff for like all
Mhm.
the species on land. I mean,
Well,
evolution.
to be fair, we'll talk about your handsy aliens. I think they have a lot of culpability in the missing plastic. When you think
Okay.
about 8 hands all working to just grab plastic from all over the place, so
And cleaning
how
it up.
so how many octopuses and squids out there and jellyfish who also have tentacles? They're just pulling plastic from everywhere and hiding it somewhere.
They're a little dead. It's a little
Yeah.
collection.
The next one is, what powers rogue waves? So apparently
That
rogue
I've
waves
thought
can
about
see.
that before.
I haven't either.
Like, well, no, I have, cause like, I don't know, like, there's just so much crap we know. I know, like, tsunamis and all that kind of crap and how that happens, but like this, I mean, I've been to the ocean a few times, you know, like, and you just see like out of nowhere, like everything's been calm forever, and then out of nowhere, like boom.
Yeah, yeah. So a rogue
We
wave
don't know how
isn't
anything
like
works.
a rogue wave isn't when your hand does this shit without you knowing. No,
No, it's not a tick.
it's not when the X-Men superhero starts waving at you. No, no. Anyway, Why do whales strand themselves on beaches, and are humans to blame? I think personally it's because they are looking for the plastic.
Yeah, they probably want to munch on it. They look like the kind of animal that would like chew gum kind of thing, but like they don't have gum. Like they just chew on plastic for like anxiety purposes. They
So,
can't do much. They move slow. You know, I would have a lot of anxiety if I was in such a huge, vast place and I'm really slow.
well,
I'd be having to chew on some.
most whales don't have teeth. How are they going to chew gum?
They gumming it.
Hmm. Now, so
Mhm.
what you're saying is what we should do is get like plankton flavored chewing gum.
Maybe not plankton. Let's try like shrimp first.
How about krill? Krill flavored.
Scallions.
What the hell does
Yes.
onions have to do with this?
I'm just thinking about seafood now.
Oh, Katie, that's a scallop, not a scallion.
I can't stand myself. See, I told y'all I'm blonde. I told y'all, okay?
Scallion, bro. Okay. 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 Oh my
That'd be
gosh.
bad.
That's great. That's going on TikTok. All right. Does she know it's touchscreen too? We are in the future. This is crazy. It's a pod within a live stream. It is. We are breaking ground here on the Boston Chris Show and on the Chris and Katie Show. Fubar says, whenever I stub my toe and the power by the F-bomb I drop is what powers Rogue Waves. The power
Yeah,
behind the F-bomb I drop is what powers Rogue Waves. That seems legitimate.
that does. That does.
If
Every time someone like really like means the F word, that's where it pops up.
I'm going to email these scientists and let them know, Fubar. Thank you so much for solving one of these. I don't know why whales beach themselves. All I do know is when I go to the beach, is be trying to push me back in like I am a beached whale, and I'm not. So
Stop.
stop rolling me, bro. I'm just trying to tan here. Yeah, I've always wondered why whales beach themselves too. To be fair,
They're literally like the only species that is just like randomly on the beach.
here's a question
That's
for you.
not supposed to be.
Speaking of scallions, why is there not a hip hop artist with a pirate themed album called Rap Scallion?
Okay, listen, I get your cup overfloweth, but
I'm trying to get this thing even, Katie. Just bear with me. So the next one is, can a human really befriend an octopus? You should know
I
this
can
one.
befriend an octopus. I can.
Okay?
Period.
So
I don't care about nobody else.
this is fascinating. In a documentary in 2020 called My Octopus Teacher, which I thought was a completely different thing, to be fair, that documentary provoked a fascinating question. Can a caring relationship form between humans and a sea creature like an octopus? Now, it's not known whether the friendship in the documentary was genuine or not from the octopus's perspective, because that journalist passed away. I don't know. The interior lives of animals may never be fully understood. So, from Katie's side of the relationship, it was very caring and healthy, but we don't know if the octopus is digging it or not.
Even okay, caring relationship and a relationship are two different things. I can make that mo like me.
Okay.
I have like little treats, right? It's like you train a dog, you know, you get your little treats. I have to come to me and everything. Whether y'all know what's in its brain or not, I'm gonna make it look pretty real.
So there are other interesting mysteries of the ocean that Vox.com has here. If you guys want to check it out, you can go there. There are a few others here, but I found all of this very, very interesting. Do you believe that there are oceanic cryptids that exist, Katie?
Oh yeah. Okay, I was talking about squids and everything. This on my arm is a kraken. I absolutely believe like the colossal
Oh,
squid, the kraken exists.
we just got demonetized on YouTube. Good job. Now I have to put drug references on there.
Crack in with
Oh,
K.
Okay, okay, okay.
Not like crack in my system. Like
Oh,
crack in
thank
my
gosh. All right, all right. You scared me there. We have to be very careful with the terminology. YouTube is very temperamental. Fubar says that Weird Al is probably working on the Scallion album as we speak. Yeah. Weird Al the Rapscallion, Pirate Polka. Let's go. All right, Katie, we're talking about mysteries of the ocean, and we're going to move on to our second topic of the week. And of course, that is the dumb shit that billionaires do with their money. And I got 9 of these things that we're going to talk about this week. Very briefly, we'll get through these because we actually have possibly an extra topic. I don't know yet. We might just make one of them move over to next week. But here we go. We have 9 of these things. And of course, the first one always is pursuing immortality. Which I find to be funny because billionaires do some of the dumbest shit to make themselves die.
I swear to God, I don't know when, but at some point it's going to be like the Futurama episodes. Like we're just going to have a room full of like celebrities' heads with labels, and they're like, "Hey, Nixon," because you know, like Nixon plays a big role in Futurama. I swear to God, that's how it's going to be.
So, did you see that, Katie? I did this.
You're not doing it very well, and you're a little bit late.
All right, hold on. Okay. Anyway, so the next one is space tourism. 2 of the world's richest men, Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, and Elon Musk, founder and CEO of Tesla, they have poured billions into their space exploration companies, Blue Origin and SpaceX. Now, while these ventures can help advance scientific knowledge and technological innovation, the prioritization of expensive joyrides over pressing earthly concerns perhaps comes across as a bit tone deaf.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's ever going to come a time in any century, decade, or anything where rich people are just going to, like make the world better. But I don't think there's ever going to come a time to that.
Oh.
But yeah, absolutely insensitive. But you do you, boo boo. I mean, also though, if we can actually have like an elevator to Mars and like if some rich person can like save humanity from something with some stupid shit like that, I mean, maybe. But at the time, not really.
So I do want to point out that I had read an article several years ago that world hunger could be eradicated for $25 billion a year. So why aren't we? Why are we not doing that? Right? Nah, let's buy
I mean,
Twitter and destroy everything about Twitter that
you
made
get
it great.
like you get Bezos, you get Elon and Zuckerberg. You get them together and have them donate their little pennies every month for
That's
the
right.
year, and boom,
So
fixed.
I would be remiss if we didn't talk about Titanic expeditions.
That is I'm sorry. I love, like I said, love the ocean, the Titanic. Man, we can't even imagine what's down there. I
I
mean, we
mean,
can because
can
people
we
are
talk
stupid, but
about the billionaire that decided to take a submersible down to the Titanic that was controlled by a $75 Xbox controller? I am not shitting you. Right. True.
see, and look, I would before that. Like I said, I'm crazy about the ocean. I I would have to be like on drugs to do so, but the idea of being in a submarine is freaking awesome. Like freaking awesome. Like to be able to see everything like in its habitat and all that. But after that, I'm like, nah, 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 nah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't give me enough drugs now.
Somebody said, "Whoa, that's wild. The ocean is kind of lame, dude. Talk more about space." So you're going to want to check out episode 7, which comes out this coming Friday, where we talk in depth about space elevators, which are a real thing.
They are.
They are real.
And the ocean is cool. I don't care what you say. my favorite.
That's right.
Space is pretty good too, though.
It is. It is.
Space is a lot more vast.
Number 4 on the list of things, dumb things that billionaires use their money for is gigantic yachts.
Yep.
Yep. They use one guy here named Roman Abramovich. A Russian billionaire and oligarch. I'm going to say that again. Abramovich. Let's go. Came off better the second time even. He has been known to spend hundreds of millions on super yachts like the Eclipse and the Solaris. You're welcome. I just mentioned space twice. Solaris and Eclipse, they both occur in space. Now, these are basically floating palaces which require hefty maintenance costs and expenses, and they are often seen as symbols of excess that the rich love to flaunt, and I know that to be true.
Yep.
How about private islands? This one I can get behind.
Unless we're talking about, Epstein.
Well, come on. We're not going to talk about those kinds of islands.
I'm just thinking about rich people and islands. That's just what
I know. Ambiverts. We are ambiverts, Kadie. A private island would be dope for us, right?
Man, I would love that'd be badass.
This is the prettiest PUBG game I've ever seen. I know we have PUBG on the category. I forgot, okay? I almost forgot to go live. You know what? I will change it right now for you, Techno. Let me figure out if I can even change it. Hold on. What's up, Z-Wolf? Everybody, welcome in to our first ever live podcast. If you haven't met her yet, the young lady to my right is Miss Lynn.
Heyo.
She is phenomenal. All right,
I swear to God, you were just gonna say she's feet.
Look, we won't talk about feet and your OnlyFans career, okay?
No. No thanks.
Why not? What do you mean? Okay, here we go. I found it.
That's another topic.
Now we have the right topic. Maybe people will watch now. All right, here we go. Where were we? We were on dumb things. Okay, dumb things that billionaires do. Again, I think private islands is not a dumb thing, perhaps. I think that's... I can understand that one.
That's kind of like having a bunker. Somewhere you can run off to if some shit happens.
The next one is billionaires buying sports teams.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, that's just a control issue. I think they just want to own other human beings legally, right?
Yeah, I mean, the more the better. Really, like the biggest yacht, the biggest franchise. That's what that is.
Wait, I said they want to own more human beings, and you said the more the better. What do you mean?
That's how they think.
Guys, controversy at play here. Kadie Lynn wants to own as many human beings as she possibly can. Oh, it's going to be like Pokemon.
When I can figure out how to get myself in control, then we might talk about it. No, I'm kidding.
Kumi said she can own me. All right, look, okay, she is happily fiancéed, okay? That could be a good investment. If you're talking about private islands, I agree. Not so much on the owning of people. I'm with her, touch my feet, and I duck. I understand. I was about to say I never knew they updated PUBG, but I guess I won't hop on that wagon. Techno Beat said, "Howdy, gorgeous." Talking to you, Kadie.
Thank you.
Hopefully, okay. So there we go. All right, so we're gonna try to catch up.
Are you sure you're not gorgeous?
No, she wouldn't call me that. Techno Beats is like a sister from a different mister. Congratulations to the Boston Celtics. Let's go. Number 7 is art collections, which goes back to the sports as well. They just want to own everything that's pretty.
Yep.
Useless things. This is the one I really wanted to talk about. The ultra rich are also known to spend tons of money on things that are completely useless. like the Dallas Mavericks. I'm just kidding. No, don't. The Cowboys. No, they're not useless. Anyway,
Those are the two I could care less about.
Case in point. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos spent a whopping $42 million to build a clock inside a mountain in Texas that's designed to run for 10,000 years and 10,000 years only.
Where is that?
The point of that, no one knows. Shocker.
No, but I'm saying it's in Texas. Where is it?
I don't know. It's inside a mountain. Should we check them all? I mean, there's not that many here.
West Texas.
It's got to be in West Texas. But perhaps Bezos could take a page from his ex-wife, Mackenzie Scott, who has donated billions of her fortune to hundreds of charities, educational institutions, and social justice causes. Kudos to Mackenzie Scott.
Kudos. And that's why she's ex-wife. She couldn't stand his bullshit.
Well, not just that, but she's not going to know what time it is in 9,412 years. The last one on the list is exotic pets. Rich people love to have exotic pets. Now, for me, an exotic pet is like a hedgehog, right? Mm-hmm. For a rich person, it's like a mermaid or a freaking abominable snowman.
Monkeys. Why do people? Okay, look. Why do people get monkeys, man? Why?
Because they're tired of watching them fall out of trees dead, Katie.
It's too hot. We gotta have them in AC.
Yeah, we got to start installing air conditioners in the Mexican trees so the howler monkeys will be more protected.
I can just imagine AC units just.
I mean, it's just as crazy as a freaking clock inside of a mountain, right?
You're right. You're right.
All right, we're going to let Katie Lynn do this next announcement. This is our next topic. I will let her take it away.
Also, hold on. On this article, that picture of Elon Musk is just freaking hilarious.
To be fair, any picture of Elon Musk is pretty hilarious, to be honest.
You're right. You're right. Even hearing him talk, too. Anyway, so this touches kind of on my childhood. Kevin Jonas, one of the Jonas brothers, hate to say it, but we know Nick Jonas, he kind of did his own thing, and what's his face, the other one has his own band now. I haven't heard about Kevin in a long time. Joe Jonas has his own band and stuff. I have not heard about Kevin in a long time. But anyway, he came out and he shared his skin cancer diagnosis. He is encouraging people to check in with their dermatologist after he just recently had some skin cancer removed. That was weird. So he said, he quoted, he got a basal cell carcinoma removed from his head, on his forehead. He pointed. He said that is an actual little skin cancer guy that started to grow, and now I have to have surgery to remove it. So everyone, I mean, it can be just something so small, but it's cancer, guys, and it can easily lead to something else. Always. So you always want to be sure to absolutely what he said, go to your dermatologist and check in. That has to do with any doctor. Make sure you're going to the doctor. Make sure you're getting everything checked out. He quoted, make sure to get those moles checked, people. So yeah, but yeah, props to him for coming out and talking about that. Not only do a lot of people talk about that kind of stuff, but yeah, and the Jonas Brothers are on tour. Funny enough,
they are on tour. Okay.
They're gonna resume in Mexico City in August.
Hopefully, they can help with that monkey population while they're there. Perhaps.
I don't know why I thought you were about to say monkeypox.
I don't know.
So more skin crap.
Not quite as important as the Kevin Jonas skin cancer diagnosis, but I found this this story, and I want to talk about relevant things, but also kind of obscure and maybe some funny stuff from time to time as well. I think that's kind of the gist of the show as we do it. But there is a man somewhere, Georgia. There is a man in Georgia that currently needs our help. And it's very important that we try to help him, especially you, Fubar, since you are a deputy sheriff. Your set of skills could really help this man out. On May 3rd, 2024, a man in Georgia. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I'm getting this right. A man in Georgia has misplaced his emotional support alligator.
Named Wally.
That's right.
Cute name.
That's right.
It's a cute name, I'm sorry.
The gator's name is Wally. I'm going to read a little bit about this. This is true shit right here, okay? This is on a reputable media source. This is not The Onion, okay? In ordinary times, the social media accounts devoted to Wally Gator documented the nearly 6-foot-long emotional support alligator's adventures around Pennsylvania, visiting nursing homes, splashing around in Philadelphia's Love Park fountain, meeting with the mayor, and smiling contentedly in his red harness as various admirers hug and hold him. Right.
I'm sorry, I love it.
Just a note to myself or in post-production, add I Will Remember You by Sarah McLachlan right here. In recent days, however, they've been overtaken with pleas for help. Wally is missing in Georgia, where his owner, Joey Henney, says he was kidnapped, recovered, and released into a swamp. Gasp. I added the gasp. That's not in order. The gasp is mine. Now, Henny and Wally were visiting friends in Brunswick, Georgia, when someone took the gator from his pen in the early morning hours of April 21st. The Wally Gator Facebook page posted on Saturday. Wally was stolen by some jerk who likes to drop alligators off into someone's yard to terrorize them, the account posted the following day. Once discovered, they called the Department of Natural Resources, aka the DNR, then called a trapper. The trapper came and got Wally and dropped him off in a swamp with about 20 other alligators that same day. I don't know why a pirate was asked his opinion on this. But anyway, a spokesperson for the Georgia Department of Resources told NPR on Friday that a permitted trapper had responded to a nuisance alligator call and in Brunswick on April 21st and later released it in a remote location.
I mean, yeah. But unfortunately, it being in an emotional support, I mean, that's considered a pet. Like, yeah, let me just take my 180-pound Great Dane that's scared of air brakes and trash trucks and every little thing and stick him out in the woods. Yeah, let's see what happens. He's dead.
But this is not a pet, Katie. This is a emotional support.
I'm saying it wasn't raised in that kind of environment, though, is what I'm saying. So,
I mean, this alligator could be afraid of garbage trucks and air brakes.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In the freaking swamp.
Yeah. Who would put a gator in a swamp?
Right. I don't know, man. This picture's pretty cute, though.
Yeah.
You know what? I get it. I get it, because I'm a big...
There we go. I'm going to put the picture up on the screen for everybody at home. Hold on.
We have 2 bearded dragons and 2 leopard geckos. You know, I've always wanted a snake. We love skinks, all that kind of stuff. So I get the whole reptile thing. And I would even get skinks get to about as big as a dog, some of them. Like, I get it, but...
It's not working. That's cool. Oh, man.
Right, but I get the gist of having a reptilian. They're pretty cool.
That figures that wouldn't be working. GG. Anyway, hey,
if Jackson had to say,
I might be able to do it like this. If Jackson had to
say, we'd have a gator.
Yeah, see, look at that. Yeah, who would do that to that young man? Taking away Wally from him. Anyway.
But yeah, if Jackson had a say in it, we'd probably have a gator.
Katie, are you ready to play a game?
Are you ready to play a game?
No, it's your turn. This better come out with Katie Lynn's name on it, okay? So, here's how we play games here on the podcast, okay? I'm going to make myself big here and talk about this. So, The way this works is I am going to spin a wheel 3 times. The first time I spin this wheel is going to be, it's going to pick either me or Katie because we are the 2 hosts here. Next week, we might have a third person on this wheel. I don't know though. We'll see. Now, the second time I spin the wheel is going to be what game the person that is picked from the wheel the first time has to play. And the third time I spin the wheel, you will see the subject or topic that we must talk about, whoever loses or wins the game. Here we go. Where is the game? Let me find it. Where is the spinner wheel? All right, so here is the wheel. Here is the wheel. And so I'm going to spin the wheel. And now that we're live, you guys can keep me honest out there as well.
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me right now, bro. This is so rigged. All right, so it has picked me once again. This is so rigged. So rigged.
It's tired of my BS already. It was like, nah, you ain't doing that no more.
So rigged. All right, so the second time I spin the wheel, we have 5 games on here. One is called Think About It. One is called Don't Get Me Started. Then we have Ah Yes. Then we have Illuminati. And then we have World's Greatest Expert. Let's see which one it takes for me. We are going to play Ah Yes. God dang it.
With the topic of.
With the topic of. And guys, remember, you can email or comment down below topics to be used for future episodes. The email is thechrisandkatieshow@gmail.com, or you can just comment wherever you are seeing this episode, and we will add it to the wheel. Here is the first and only spin of the topic I have to do. The topic is balls. The game is Ah Yes, and the host is myself. Ah Yes means
balls.
Someone gives you a noun or topic. In this case, the noun or topic is balls.
Balls.
And I must give a fake background of that noun or topic. Ah, yes! Balls. Now, you may not know this, but way back, in the early 14th century,
whoa,
when the Mercedes-Benz was just being found out about. Now, this Mercedes-Benz company, when it started off in the 14th century, they started off with 4 horses, 6 goats, and a capybara. A capybara is the largest rodent in South America. And back then, these creatures were all female. And so when you start a brand new luxury vehicle company, especially in the 14th century, ah, yes, they have to be female. Otherwise, they may have some things that will not make them go as fast as the other creatures. Ah, yes, those things are not testicles. They are not testicles, as I said once before. I'm trying to make something up here and it's not happening. Okay, so those are really balls, and I'm supposed to tell you fake stuff about balls. The females have these things under their eyeballs called balls. That's right. And they help with pristine vision so that they don't have to go to a 24-hour eye center, which thankfully did not exist in the 14th century. So those things called balls on their eyes or under their eyes, they were later evolved into makeup for people like Katie Lynn. True. Katie Lynn did not even know at this point in time that she has balls on her face.
Not currently, but I wear balls a lot. Most days of the week I wear balls.
Like real balls, or the ones I'm talking about? Because the ones I'm talking about make you have real high cheekbones.
I mean those, but I got a good pair of cojones too.
Wow. So for you
Big.
folks that are following along at home, that is called hashtag bilingual. I don't know how she knew the Spanish name for balls that they put underneath the eyes of horses. And don't forget the singular capybara, which, by the way, was the fastest mouse in all of Mexico.
Hell yeah.
As I say a lot on this podcast. Anyway, so Katie Lynn, would you rather talk about number 6 or number 7 this week? Saving the other for next week.
Personally said.
All right, 7 it is. She always picks the one with the harder pronunciation. Do you want to lead this one?
So we're starting with number 7.
Yeah, let's do number 7 right now.
Coming out the gate with it. So,
this is our main event topic for episode 8. Welcome in, guys. If you are just joining us live on Twitch, thank you for being here. Everybody out there, I appreciate y'all checking out the very first ever live episode of the Chris and Kadie show. Mickey's son, I appreciate you for being here. No Celtics. I would say yes, Celtics. Ubar said, spoiler alert for episode 7. And Kumi said that I make him big all the time. We don't need to talk about that here on the channel.
We just got done talking about balls.
The wife might be watching, and remember, refer back to the National Celebration Days. We don't want to make a ginger snap, do we, Kumi?
Nope.
All right, Katie, take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read the name of this article. The U.S. Supreme Court allows access to abortion pill unanimously rejected Texas challenge. So, this is also in the High Court's first abortion-related ruling since it overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022. Fun fact. So, the name of this pill is, you might have to help me, Mr. Bilingual,
You're the one that said cojones. I'm not the bilingual one here. Come on.
This is not Spanish.
It's called Mifipristone. Mifipristone.
Okay. I was gonna say Mifipristone, so there we go. Okay, it's a common abortion inducing medicine, and it's going to remain on the market without additional restrictions after the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously rejected an anti-abortion group's challenge to the drug's approval. Like I said, it's the first abortion-related ruling since it overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022. The 9 justices ruled to change nothing about the drug's legal status. The ruling is a rebuke of the Fifth U.S. Court. God, that's a mouthful. Circuit Court of Appeals and District Judge. I'm not saying that name. Matthew.
Something.
You got it. You got it.
You want me to say it? Where is his name?
Matthew.
Where are you on the article? I don't see you on. Hey,
Kaczmarek?
watch your mouth. Kaczmarek. Yeah, let's go with Kaczmarek. Yep.
Of Amarillo. Anyway, the opinion was written by Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Got that one. With the concurring opinion by Justice Clarence Thomas. Medication abortion typically performed with a combination of that medication and misoprostol.
Misoprostol, yes. Very close.
Okay, I've heard of that one. I forgot how to pronounce it. Anyway, it's most common abortion method in the United States. In the nearly 25 years since it was first approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, Mifipristone, Mifipristone. I can read all day and make it make sense in my brain, but coming out of my mouth is a different story. Anyway, it has been conclusively shown to be safe and effective.
So I just wanted to mention a couple of things that are interesting and important to me after reading this article that might be lost on some of our audience that might feel some way or another on this topic. Number one, This was a unanimous decision by the highest court in the United States of America. That means
Yep.
all 9 justices voted to upkeep the availability of this drug as a form of abortion, as essentially an abortion method in this country. Now, this drug is used for other things as well. Um, a lot of those things are indicative of women's health. A lot of this drug is typically, it helps with hormonal things and birth control at times. Like, there's a lot of different things. There's a lot to unpack about the drug itself, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the decision. And the decision was unanimous. That means all 6 conservative judges and all 3 liberal judges all agreed that this drug is constitutional. It is allowed in this country, which means that's it. That's the end. So as of this moment in time, that will not be struck down. Now, can it be in the future? Of course it can, right? Like Roe v. Wade was overturned at one point.
Yep. I there's the Kavanaugh, I can pronounce this, in his opinion on Thursday, whatever Thursday that was, Kavanaugh wrote that the plaintiffs can't sue simply because they might desire to make a drug less available for others.
That's right.
That's referring to Texas as a state, right?
Yes. So there
Yeah.
were essentially, the way the case started is because there were doctors in Texas that didn't like the fact that the drug was being made available for abortions, and they sued to have it not to essentially block it, to say that it was unconstitutional.
You would a little side rant. You would think as a doctor, wherever you may be, um, you would care about all health, not just physical health, but mental health of your patient, of the people you are seeing.
Right.
Um, that I, the fact that that came from doctors, like, bewilders me. Like
Well,
it.
you got to remember that doctors, just like regular human beings, have agendas and biases and all of those things as well.
Yeah.
So you're going to have doctors that are for things and doctors that are against things, and you're going to have doctors that are experts and say that they're experts on this, and other ones that disagree. It's like having a murder case, right? You have experts on both sides who both claim to know what the hell they're talking about, but don't, like, nothing adds up. They don't agree with each other. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's why the Supreme Court and the lower courts are there, to
Yeah.
be the arbitrary process that takes out, supposedly it's supposed to be this way, it isn't always, but they're supposed to take the bias out of the equation and essentially
Absolutely.
just interpret the law. That's what their job is supposed to
And
be.
I guess that's kind of my point with, like, doctors, like, they know all, especially primaries that would be prescribing you this medication. Like, they know every single thing about you.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing about your health, things they will not disclose, things they will not, like, say if you go in there and say, "Hey, I'm on crack." They're not going to just be like,
So are we talking about
"Oh,
crack or crack in at this point?
we could say crack in for YouTube." Um
Okay, all right.
But you know what I mean? Like, you go in there, like, you tell them, like, every single thing about you, like your habits, your drugs, like all of the above. And a lot of times mental health too. The fact that, like, you would get to know somebody on those kind of basis, and, like, have somebody that, I mean, based, not a therapist, but, like, same thing, like, um confidentiality kind of thing. Like, we come to you, to save our lives,
Mm-hmm.
basically, like, save our health. And I don't
Well,
know.
what
The
gets me
bias
what
is
gets me
what I
about
feel
this
like.
whole thing is I don't feel like there should be um a major pollination of health and politics. Now, I understand that policy is going to shape what's allowed and what isn't, right? Or
Right.
the legislative process of that. But what I don't like, and this has been happening for longer than I've been alive, I don't like people who are not experts on health trying to decide what's best for my health or your health
Yep.
or this girl's health or that guy's health. That's not cool to me. I
What's really not cool to me, and something you'll hear from every female on this topic, not every, but should be, all these MFers are men.
yeah, I mean, it's not a surprise, right?
I mean, I don't feel like you should tell anyone what to do with their body.
Absolutely.
That comes to hair, tattoos, piercings. You know, whether you're pro life or pro choice or regardless of any of that, um, you should let somebody do their own thing.
Mhm.
Obviously, have procedures and everything like that, or like we can't just go killing people or nothing, but like actual people.
I mean,
But
these decisions should, I mean, it all boils down to, in my opinion, these decisions should be made between an individual and their primary care
yes,
provider,
yes,
period. There shouldn't be
yep.
anybody else that has any kind of decision making process other than
And there
those
should
two
be
folks.
no discrimination because,
That's
like, I
right.
guarantee you, coming from these doctors, they're fighting it. But at the same time, I guarantee you, they have patients coming in wanting it, needing it, and they're like, no,
Yep.
that's,
And
I mean,
and that's the scary thing because they're playing politics with our health,
exactly.
and
They're putting their, that's where the bias comes in. And
yep.
that's why I think it's so BS that it's coming from the doctors. Like, you would think
Well,
you would care about someone's health,
again, so the
That's your
way it
job.
works is the doctors, these particular doctors sued to try to get this drug to be unavailable federally. And there are, of course, other doctors that don't agree with that. Actually, the majority of doctors want this drug to be available. And I mean, at the end of the day, the justices agree that the drug should be made available. Now, Fubar makes a good point in our live chat that the drug was determined to be dangerous in the state of Louisiana, which is true. But again, how much of that do you believe when it's determined to be dangerous, perhaps by
Every
biased
freaking
politicians?
medication, every medication is dangerous.
Well, that's the first part of it, right? But again, we shouldn't let our elected officials tell us what's dangerous for us, right? If they don't
Mhm.
know what is or isn't, right? We should. This should
Mhm.
be these kinds of decisions should be made between an individual and their own primary doctor, who
Yep,
they're paying or whatever to give them the best medical advice. and
absolutely.
and nobody should have to leave their home state or their home area to have to get the care they constitutionally should get, period.
Um, there's a quote on here that the ruling reads that I really appreciate, and I think it's really well said. Federal law fully protects doctors against being required to provide abortions or other medical treatment against their con- consciences.
Yeah.
God, Whew. And therefore breaks any change of causation between FDA's relaxed regulation of I can't say this damn medication
Mifipristone.
and any asserted conscience injuries to the doctors.
what i
That was a
really
lot of big words
yeah
that repeated themselves and hurt my eyeballs.
what I really like from the ruling, which was dropped last Thursday, from Brett Kavanaugh, he wrote that the plaintiffs can't sue simply because they might, quote, desire to make a drug less available for others, unquote.
Yep.
So, why is that important? I'm going to tell you why that's important, because this ruling is going to apply not just for this drug, but for every other drug as well, right? So, the way the process works is the Federal Drug Administration, the FDA, decides whether a drug is potentially dangerous or if the reward outweighs the risk and how to make it available or whether to not make it available or whatever. But once the FDA approves a drug, then it is federally available and federally allowed, as long as it's not blocked by a court. So
Yep.
what's interesting about this again is desire to make a drug less available for others. He's not talking specifically about Mifipristone here. He is talking in vagary in saying a drug. That means all drugs. That means if a drug is federally approved by the FDA, then people cannot sue just to make it less available for people.
there's another quote, and I think it states it very, very well in a nutshell. Allowing doctors or other healthcare providers to challenge general safety regulations as unlawfully lax would be an unprecedented and limitless approach and would allow doctors to sue in federal court to challenge almost any policy affecting public health.
Yep. And Fubar makes another great point. The pharmaceutical industry is a joke. A prime example is the movie The Dallas Buyers Club. Completely agree. The pharmaceutical industry, just like any other big industry in the country, they are here for one reason and one reason alone, and that is to line the pockets of everybody within their industry. And they could give two flying pieces of crap about you and me.
Yep.
It's all about the bottom line. And unfortunately, that is a completely different side of this subject.
Coin.
Yeah. But honestly, women that are pro-choice should be very, very happy about this ruling. I find it, again, interesting that 6 conservative justices did not uphold a ban on this drug.
Absolutely.
When abortion is a very important topic for conservative politicians.
This hasn't this kind of subject hasn't personally come up in a conversation, to discriminate against or whatever. Um, but I mean, I would like to know people's opinions, especially women that are like pro life and stuff. I don't know. I'm curious to see what everyone thinks of this, especially because like you said, like the 6 most conservatives even agreed, like
Mm-hmm.
you know this should be available. So I'm curious to see other people that are like pro life how they feel about
I
it.
would love to see people comment down below as well. Keep it kind. I am not going to allow any kind of disgusting comments, so keep it kind. It's always good to have healthy discussion about things that you may disagree with, as long as you can respect another person's dignity.
Yep. Respect.
But I am going to say something that I also believe is really important about this particular drug, because I've seen things from a certain side of the aisle about this drug that are simply untrue. So I'm going to read this very, 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 very slowly. This is directly from the FDA.gov, which obviously it's governmental, right? So take it with a grain of salt. But this is coming from actual experts on the nature of this drug. Mifipristone is a drug that blocks a hormone that is called progesterone. Progesterone, it's a hormone that is needed for a pregnancy to continue. Mifipristone, when used together with another medicine which we talked about called misoprostol, when used in tandem, they are used to end a pregnancy, and this is very important that y'all follow this, through the first 10 weeks of gestation. It does not work after the first 10 weeks. Okay? That means 70 days. In order to end your pregnancy with this cocktail of drugs, you have to take it within the first 70 days. My guess, I'm not an expert, but my educated guess is it's probably because that hormone is no longer there after the first 10 weeks. That's my guess. Because that hormone is needed for a pregnancy to continue, and then perhaps after that 10 weeks, it is no longer needed to keep the pregnancy viable. Therefore, this combination of drugs no longer blocks it and no longer ends the pregnancy. That's my guess. People can comment down below to tell me whether I'm correct on that or not. But the point I'm making is this is an early abortion pill.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds pretty valid to me. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm blonde. I'm going to use that my entire life. But yeah, I don't know, but that sounds very, very viable.
I mean, it doesn't. My point is, it's not like people can use this cocktail 30 weeks into a pregnancy. Like, it's not a late term option, is my point. So, there is that. Close enough sounds right. I'm a conservative person, but I think abortion is fine as long as it is done early enough. I agree with you, Fubar. I
Hmm.
don't honestly think, again, Fubar is conservative. I'm not quite as conservative anymore. I'm more middle road. I would say I am a moderate or a centrist. Some people would say I'm liberal as I'm really not. I just believe in inclusivity and kindness, and I see more of that from one side and less of that on the other. So I tend to gravitate to the kindness. That's just the way I am. But a lot of these issues, I am very much in the middle on a lot of this stuff. I believe that a woman and everybody else has the right to do whatever the hell they want with their body, and nobody should be able to tell them different. I've said that many times. Um, I've always felt that way. That's why I've never been able to be fully a Republican, because I believe that a woman has the right to choose. I also believe that we have the right to bear arms, which is why I can't be fully a liberal, right? So that's
Yep.
why I'm in the middle there. I agree with certain things on both sides. Um, but this is good overall because once you start telling us what we can take and what we can't take as far as medicine goes, that's a lot of liberty to take away from a person, I feel.
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the biggest problem with like anything like when it comes to like these the Texas, God no, Tennessee Adult Entertainment Act. Like when you give these liberties and then you take them away, that's the effed up part about it.
And you got to remember a lot of politics is just testing the fence, right? I mean, that's what they're doing. And let's see what we can get away with so that way maybe we can do more later. That's a both sides thing. Whether you're on the right or the left, that's what they do. Let's test the fence. Let's see how much compromise we can get out of the other side, right?
Hmm.
And so the Supreme Court, which is heavily skewed towards the conservative side right now, everybody would agree with that. I feel like they are also making compromises here because in the same week they disallowed the ban on this drug, but they also overturned a ban on bump stocks in the same week. So, um, which I don't know how I feel about that either. I'm a strong proponent of the Second Amendment, but at the same time, I also believe that there has to be some regulation on the Second Amendment as well. I don't know if that regulation necessarily needs to be bump stocks. I don't know. But when I see those two issues come out nearly, 48 hours from each other, that smells of compromise to me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I hope that's not what's happening because I don't want compromise from justices in this country. That's not what the Supreme Court and other courts are there for. They are here to interpret the Constitution and tell us what's legal and what isn't. And then
Yep.
all the compromise is supposed to happen in the other two branches, right?
Mhm.
So that's our main event this week. Mifipristone is not banned in this country. Um, it was unanimously approved as a drug. That means I do believe, I could be wrong, but I do believe states cannot ban it now because it has basically been um, basically been approved by the Supreme Court.
Yep.
I don't believe a state can come along and say no, we don't agree with that and still ban it. So
Yeah.
I could be wrong. But if that were to happen, if a state tried to do that shit, then that would also end up in the Supreme Court.
It'd be Texas.
Well, there are other states that could possibly try it as well.
For sure.
Overall, I've seen a lot of conservative states that are not doing real well with the banning of abortion in their states. Ohio had a measure where they kept abortion legal. Kentucky, the governor in Kentucky signed a bill where abortion would not be banned in Kentucky. I think West Virginia did the same. Those three states are somewhat conservative, Kentucky especially. Um, so I find it interesting during an election season, all of these little things that are happening that are clearly because of an election coming. You know,
They ain't little things.
my son
But
Toby said they are also here to make sure that he wins PUBG games. I mean, it would take a higher power to make Toby good at the game, so there is that.
man, that's cold.
And Funkamon, I mean, people with a conservative attitude can have non-conservative beliefs and still be conservative. I did it for a really long time. Um,
Yep.
like I mean, a massive thing for me is same-sex marriage, different what do you call it, biracial marriage. There are things that conservatives don't agree with that are just not cool.
Mm.
Like people should be able to marry whoever the hell they want. Period.
Yep.
People should be allowed to love whoever they want, and the big thing for me is people should be allowed to exist without fear of existence.
Yep.
And I've
Agreed.
been very vocal about that. But yeah, we've been live on Twitch for the very first time. This was a reward that was unlocked by reaching a goal. Katie, thank you for letting us go live this week.
It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed the interaction with everybody, the questions, the comments. I'm about it. Fun.
Fubar, I agreed to that as well. I have a theory on the bump stock issue, and it's not something I would like to talk about on a podcast for sure. But I have a kind of a conspiracy theory on bump stocks, and that's why I don't really want to talk about it in this space. But I will perhaps message you and tell you my theory. I think you may be there with me, perhaps. But Fubar and I are the perfect example of two human beings, one who's more conservative, maybe a little more conservative, not really far conservative, and somebody like me who leans a little more left. I have purple hair. He's from Iowa. We're not two people you would think would get along, and we get along fabulously. He lives in Iowa. I'm in Texas. He's probably him and Kumi are two of my best friends in the world. So and I promise we don't all three agree on every single issue. But we all agree that hate shouldn't exist and that kindness is effortless, and
Absolutely.
that's what matters. Katie, what do you have planned for the next 6 days until we meet again?
I'm getting my teeth done tomorrow.
Oh, you're
Tomorrow.
getting those caps right tomorrow.
Yep. I am. I'm scared.
So yeah, Katie's going to be going in debt for the next 14 years.
3, but yeah. 3, but yeah.
So I saw that you got booked at the Double S studio in July.
I
So
did.
that is Sherry Booth's venue out there at her
It's
place.
beautiful. I love her so much. I've known her. She was my first 4-hour show at her little coffee shop. My first 4-hour show. I was 9 years old, I think. Maybe 10. Maybe 10.
Sherry, I believe I met her through when I used to book for the Truman Children's Center in Gladewater.
Hmm.
I used to book music out there every Monday for like, golly, it was probably like 3 years. And then COVID happened and that put an end to that. Like just, and
Yeah.
they're doing it again, which is great. I love to see that. But I'm pretty sure that's where I met Sherry. She's done that show out there a lot of times. I'm hoping to make it out to Double S at some point. It's kind of a distance from me, but
Is
um,
it?
um,
I don't.
maybe not too far, but probably about an hour or so.
Closer than me, though.
Yeah, that is true. But I might try to get out there. You never know. You just never know when the purple-haired man might
Never,
show up.
never know. Oh, hey. Well, I don't know if anyone live is around that Dallas area, but your homegirl's playing at Trees this weekend
That's
on
right.
Friday.
Trees in Dallas, which is one of the bigger rock and roll venues in Dallas. Congrats on that
Tell 'em,
gig.
yes. I know. I'm excited. I'm really
You're
excited.
gonna rock it out. You should go live from there so we can all watch.
I should. I'll have to. I can hook my homie Bob on it.
Yeah, there you go. I watched the first interview of Katie, and I don't believe it's her. There's no way Cookie Cutter Katie turned into Rebel Katie. Now, Katie has been a rebel for as long as I've known this girl, and that is 8 years
I
now.
have not. I have not. Okay, I might look different, but I have not changed at all. I swear to God, I'm the same person.
So, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to keep it open for open questions from the live chat. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. If anybody has a question for me, or more likely from Katie. This is very awkward for me because we have that episode coming out Friday, which is episode 7, and this is episode 8. So this has been a little weird.
I'm so excited. I loved episode 7 so much. Obviously, that was way up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
Can we? I mean,
Absolutely,
damn,
talk
it
about it.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a big metal gal, metal gal. And one of my favorite. Also, I got a replacement in my heart. I
Aw,
found another Australian death metal band.
let's go. That's great. Toby said literally went from Hannah Montana to Wrecking Ball Miley Cyrus.
Hey, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
Cool Me wants to know if you know who Spirit Box is.
I do. Okay. Do you know who I wrestled a bear once is? That is the same beautiful Courtney LaPlante. I do not like Spirit Box. I do not like Courtney LaPlante's vocals. I think she is an amazing screamer. Here and there, she doesn't really have that big of a range, but I think her melodies. I don't know if she writes her own music, but I feel like her vocals in entirety are a little lackey for my taste. I'm a ginger gal, if that tells you anything.
So,
Ginger.
so Fubar says "Tastes Like Kevin Bacon" is a musical masterpiece.
I wrestled a bear once. Yes, sir. You know what I'm talking about. Oh my god, you should
Oh
so listen to
man.
it break down. It's hilarious. Hilarious.
So
It has a trumpet before it breaks down.
that's great. So I do have a couple of pieces of news. So first of all, I have to throw Katie Lynn under the bus a little bit here because this show this is episode 8,
Yep.
and I now have the third episode of the 10 Minutes podcast coming out Saturday. So that means this show is about 4 weeks ahead of that show, right? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That
I
maths out.
so I have a theme song for my 10 Minutes podcast, but I don't know why I
Oh,
don't have a theme song for this one, Katie Lynn.
hey, wait. How are we supposed to start this? What did we giggle about? We were giggling about something because it was oh shit. We can start every podcast with
Yeah, we'll just demonetize ourselves right within the first 2 seconds. Yes. So it would be like, oh beep, like every episode. No, but yeah, I'm pretty stoked. So I interviewed a guy from Brookline, Massachusetts for episode 7 of 10 Minutes.
Sweet.
And so he
Sweet.
has a project called Adios Fatso, and
Okay.
one of the songs is perfect. It's called Video Chat Plethora, and it's just talking about like the lyrics are it's time to chat, it's time to mingle, it's time to see what everybody's drinking, it's time to
Yeah.
chat, it's time to mingle, and then at the end it says now everybody's losing connection, and then it just fades to nothing. It's fucking great.
That
So
sounds pretty awesome.
So the first time I'll be using that theme song is in episode 8. I'm pretty stoked, but that's like so far out. Like I'm like 5 weeks ahead or 6 weeks ahead. Like I have all of these episodes done, but some of them won't even be out until September. That's how busy I've been.
Well, that makes me feel better. So I have till September to come up with a theme song to be even.
And I'm just like, I can't hire somebody else to do a theme song for the Chris and Katie show when I got one of the best musicians in Texas as my
Man,
co-host.
for me to get shit ready for this podcast is like you and me both are always just doing something.
That's right. And honestly, this just like it's honestly spur of the moment every week, isn't it? Like
Big
I
time.
mean, I think about it all week, but I don't really start preparing for it until yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, I
I
might
agree.
make some notes along the way here, but they're very brief, and I'm just trying to update the deaths and the celebrations
And
and shit.
keep you on your toes. I added some notes last week.
In a
Just
different
for
color, it was great. It was amazing.
well, usually like on all this stuff, like I already knew like what I wanted to touch on and stuff. I get like things in my head and I got it down. So he never knows what I'm about to say. So
Right.
I keep him on his toes.
So if you are still here with us on the channel, either on YouTube or Spotify or on Twitch, I need you guys to all do me a huge favor right now, no matter where you are. And I need you to go to Spotify. And I need you to type into the search bar The Chris and Katie Show. And when it comes up, I want you to click the follow button. And then you can do the same thing for 10 minutes with Boston Chris and click the follow
Yes,
button.
sir.
And make sure you listen to at least one episode over there of both, even if it's only for 5 minutes or 3 minutes or 30 seconds, because we need to increase our listener count to 160 days. And then once we do that, we unlock some pretty cool shit that we can do in the future. So
Yep.
help us grow, and no matter where you're listening to or watching tonight, Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, hit that follow button over on Spotify. Even if you don't use the platform, spend 30 seconds over there for us tonight. That would really help us out. If you're watching this show or listening to this show, and you're also following the other podcast that I do, just a couple of announcements. I don't make announcements on social media until after I have an interview in the can, because people can back out. However, I don't mind making announcements on this for people that might be following along until the end of an episode. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what I have in store. I have 8 episodes in the kicker. If you're watching on social media, Discord, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of those places, you already know the 8 that I've already announced. However, number 9 will be the lead singer of Bowling for Soup. That's right. Jarrett Ray Reddick will be my 9th guest on the 10 Minutes with Boston podcast. Knock on wood. Hopefully he doesn't cancel. Number 10 will be Pauline Reese, the queen of Texas music. Twice she has recorded a duet on her album with Willie Nelson. Twice. She's won every single award you can possibly think of in this state. And then number 11, which I literally confirmed minutes before we started filming today. I'm so excited about this. Dallas, Texas rap and hip hop legend Big B, aka Mr. Rain, will be my guest on episode 11. We're going to talk about all of the stuff that he has done to revolutionize the hip hop game in DFW. I'm so stoked to talk to him. Can we get 3 more different artists than Bowling for Soup, Pauline Reese, and Big B? Back to back to back.
Those are very different sides of the spectrum.
I'm freaking stoked, man. Look at the smile. I'm so happy, man. So happy.
That's gonna be awesome.
It's going to be great. And of course, we're going to have Kadie over there too. I want to reiterate before we get off of here, next Monday night, we will not be live on Twitch unless you guys persuade me with biddies and Streamloots and stuff. But we probably won't be. However, we will have our very first guest commentator here on the show, the one and only Dave Jarvis from the Blow Your Brains Out podcast. Will be with us live. Not live. He will be here with us for episode 9 of the Chris and Kadie show. I'm going to have to build a new overlay for this shit, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be fun. Dave Jarvis,
I'm so excited.
I've just met him, and I met him through Kadie. Kadie's known him a long time. And they have made music together. Quite literally, right?
Yeah, have you heard it?
I have. I love the song. Oh my gosh, I love the song. In fact, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. We could get demonetized. I'm not going to play copywritten music. That's dumb. Can we get an uncopyrighted theme song soon, Kadie? Come on now.
I will work on it.
So that's going to be next week. Kadie and I are going to schedule for 8:30 as we do every single Monday. If you're watching on Twitch, I want to thank you guys for tuning into this once in a lifetime opportunity, not opportunity, but event. It's a lot of fun doing these shows with Kadie. Just shooting the shit. We never get tired of talking to each other. We have impeccable chemistry. And
half the time when we're done, we'll talk for like another hour.
Yeah, exactly. Last week, I think we were talking until like 1 a.m.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, to be honest. Did anybody figure out what our signals were tonight on Twitch? Nobody has mentioned it. You guys should know what each of the signals were.
Especially yours, dear Jana.
I mean, I gave mine away. So Fubar got mine. That was mine. Head nod was mine. Does anybody know what Kadie's signal to me was? It was not a chin scratch. It was not glasses coming off. No, it was tugging her right ear like she is doing right now. Her ear rub. Too late, Cool Me. You already did glasses coming off. That's right. It was her ear. nod.
I just have a bad habit of I don't know.
So she probably did that like 6 times without me even noticing, to be fair. I get so wrapped up in what we're doing. Yeah. I don't know.
It's fine.
Maybe you have to say like a safe word,
Pineapple.
Like, asparagus! Okay, I got you. All right, to end the episode, thank you guys once again for tuning in. If you'd like to be a guest commentator on the show, you can email us at the Chris and Kadie Show, all spelled out. That's right, and is A-N-D, at gmail.com. If you'd like to have a topic talked about on the show, or add topics to our spinning wheel, you can also email me there. If you are watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, which is completely free. You can become a YouTube member for $2.99 a month if you want to. You don't have to. You can still enjoy all the content for absolutely nothing. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notify bell, so you'll get notified when we go live. Same thing on Spotify. Hit the follow button, which is free. Become a Spotify follower. And of course, we are everywhere. Under Katie Lynn is at Katie Lynn on Facebook and all her social medias. All of those links will be down in the description down below. And once again, thank you for tuning in to another great episode of the Chris and Kadie Show.